Hey guys, how are y'all? Actually, we've had a little bit of a change of schedule. We're actually having Rich Skelton, Nick Sartain, and then Rainey Skelton's gonna come on with us even and give us some dirt. And then we're gonna bring on Joe Frost, Dale Brisby, and then Wesley Silcox is gonna come on and talk to us a little bit about what they're doing at Cowboy Outfitters. So without further ado, let's get the show on the road. But first, if you guys have a chance and you're out shopping, you should go get one of these belts because they're adorable. It's by Quincy Tack and Belt. And it's located at the Retro Ranch booth here, and also she's over at the Sands as well. So go get you a belt today, and that way you can hold up your buckle. And I have a funny story about this buckle, so let's bring out Rich Skelton, Rainey Skelton, and Nick Sartain so I can tell y'all my funny story. Huge audience. Hey, there you go. Look, you got a fan?
Yep, one. She's crazy.
She's crazy? Okay, so my belt buckle, guys, my dad has known Rich for how long? A long time.
21 or 2 years.
20. Okay, well, he gave this to my dad 20 years ago yesterday. This is from the 6th go-round. It's his go-round win buckle, and I'm wearing it today because I'm interviewing you, so it's perfect.
That's cool.
Yeah, except it's really heavy.
Is it tarnished? Has it been that long?
No way.
It's about time for a new one tonight, I hope.
Oh, hey, let me just tell you, this couch is lucky. Yesterday, Aaron Pass was on, Timothy Bingham, and I had Sage Kimsey. Sage won second, Aaron won. So there you go.
Can we take it out to the rodeo with us?
I would love for you to. Haul it up in the bloomer, just take it out there.
All righty.
Well, let's start with the basics. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and give me some information about you.
All right, Rainey, lay it on them.
No.
Rich Skelton. I live in Lano, Texas. Roped all my life. I was pretty fortunate. I knew from early age that's all I wanted to do was rope, and just started roping. And some people want to be a fireman, some people want to be a police officer. I wanted to be a roper.
You want to be a cowboy?
I've been reconsidering this week, though.
No way, Jose. So how long have you been? How many NFRs have you been to?
This is 21 NFRs and 1 steer roping finals.
Wow, that's incredible, and you deserve to be here. Don't even say that, what you just said. What about you, Nick?
I'm from originally from Yukon, Oklahoma, and I still live in Oklahoma. My folks showed horses, and I was about the same way since I was about 8 years old. All I wanted to do was be a team roper. Luckily, I got my wish.
Hey, and also you have the best horses, is what my dad said. My dad said you learned early on if you have really good horses, it's a huge advantage.
It does. It makes all the difference.
Yeah. So, Rainey, you have any dirt on these two?
What?
Do you have any dirt? We need some funny stories.
Well, I don't know. We told you one. So.
Tell us that one. That one's funny.
All right. All right, so my dad was breaking him. He was working with my calf horse, and he went to get off, and he ran down the rope, and then he started saying, ouch, my foot hurts, so he had a stress fracture in his foot, so he had to wear one of those big old boots, and it was very funny.
Well, my goodness. Okay, I think you need to stick to team roping.
Me too. I think he needs to.
Is he a good barrel dad? Is he one of those dads that's yelling in the alleyway?
No. That was
No.
my mom.
That's your mom. Goodness. So, what advice? You're young, Nick. You've been married and you have a child. So what advice would you give Nick about getting married and having children in the future? Make it good.
That's a pretty loaded question with your wife in the audience and your daughter sitting right here.
Well, I hope it's good advice, like nice stuff.
No, I don't know about that one. Let me think on it. Let's pass. Let's go with next question.
Okay, well, what advice would you give someone that wants to be the next Rich Skelton?
Well, that's a long, hard road on that one, but no, it's we love like for kids to come rope, and if you want to rope, and first thing take care of your grades, get all that handled first, and then like when you're roping, practice, get you a practice schedule. Mm-hmm. Make sure that when you practice right. A lot of guys, when they go practice, they just run steers. They don't ever get anything out of their practice, so therefore they look up 2 years later and they're roping the same as they did 2 years before.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Nick? You have any advice?
I would say get somebody that ropes better and knows a lot more about it than you do, to help you, and it can shorten up the learning curve a lot, and it makes it a lot easier. You won't make so many wrong mistakes that you got to go back and fix. And we talked earlier about horses. Have a great horse. Whoever's got the best horse wins the most. So that's the biggest thing to me, I think. Another
thing on that is, we're pretty fortunate. We get to practice around the best ropers in the world most of the time. But when you're practicing, practice with somebody better than you. Don't try to, if you rope, it just gives you a little more incentive. If you rope against somebody, if you're a 3, rope against, or with some guys that's 5 or 6s or 9s if you have the chance.
That's what my dad ropes with you, Rich, when he goes over there. It makes him feel bad about himself. He's like, God, it's embarrassing. I just missed it by Rich.
Well, that's the same way when he beats me playing golf, so it all works out.
Definitely, definitely. So you've been out to the NFR a few times. What's changed over the years? What has been the biggest change in your opinion?
I'd say the biggest change that I see is, the steers. This year, the last 2 years, steers has been a little bigger, but normally there for about 7 or 8, 10 years, the steers was really small. Mm-hmm. Times have gotten a lot faster. Speed come along, and he showed all the headers how to rope faster. And a lot of them guys nowadays, they went home and copied it and emulated it. The heeling, you can only rope them as fast as they turn them. But the heading has gotten so much faster, and the steers are smaller, and the times have gotten faster. Nowadays, all 15 headers can throw when the barrier rope comes off. Used to, there was 2 or 3 guys. Now, and pay 6 monies, by the time it's over with, they're going to catch, and the round's usually tough. Every now and again, you get an easy round, but most part, they're pretty tough.
This is my 21st year to come to the NFR. And I remember when I was 2 years old, I was sitting in the back seat. I don't know whose lap I was sitting in, but we were pulling into the Thomas and Mack, and we saw a sign that was like, those LED lights on the side of the road, and it said, you can't get rich without speed. So I was like, oh my goodness, I remember that from being a little girl all these years later, and everyone wants to emulate you. They want to be like Rich Skelton, which I think is a huge compliment for you.
Well, thank you. I hope that sets a good example.
Definitely. Hey, they're clapping. You're Ford fans? Yeah. What about you, Nick? What's been the biggest change in your opinion?
I think Rich is right about the steers are a little bit different. They're there for a little while, but I think the times are a lot faster. Mm-hmm. But everybody's gotten to, the rounds pay a lot better than what they did at one time, and so when it pays that good every night, it kind of forces you to go fast. So.
Well, y'all guys keep mentioning this week. You said you had a rough week, which, we've been watching, but I want to know, you've been at the top, and you guys have been in the middle. Is this a humbling experience for you so far, being out here, and it's been rough? I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to ask, because there's kids out there that have missed too, and they're thinking, wow, they miss at the pro level. So I think it shows them that you're human. You make mistakes too. Rich, you got an answer?
I don't know. It just basically pissed me off so far. So I don't know any other way to put it, but it just hadn't worked out. We had really good practice before we came, and wasn't like last year. Nick's shoulder was hurt. I had knee surgery. We didn't hardly practice at all. Had a great week. This year we actually we got to practice and thought everything was going good when we started, and you can only do so much preparation for coming here. And we're riding the same 2 horses we rode last year. It just hasn't worked out. We hadn't drew the best. We hadn't roped the best. Have 4 rounds left, so we're going to get it turned around pretty quick.
I think you will too. And hey, it's okay. Everybody goes through those moments. I just don't think you've ever had to really go through these moments.
There's been times out here I've struggled. Actually, the year that I won the average here, I went for 6 years and never missed one. And then the year I roped the worst is when I won the average. So.
See? Goodness. Well, Nick, what advice would you give someone that's going through a slump or trying to get their way back out of it, and they know that they're roping the right way, it's just not working for them?
Well, calm waters never make a good sailor. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's going to be rough, especially when you rope against the best guys in the world. There's going to be times where it just doesn't go your way, but about the only thing you can do is just keep your head down and keep working at it, keep doing what you do, and as long as you stick to your guns, it'll come back together.
What's your game plan for the next 4 rounds? Obviously, besides win.
I don't know about Nick's, but I think just, I might change horses. I'm gonna ride the one I've been riding tonight, and if it doesn't work tonight, I won't give it one more night. I'm gonna ride my other horse. You know, I've always been a big believer. If things isn't working, change something. We went and practiced yesterday. The practice went good. Just just things hadn't went our way at the rodeo. But one thing about it, they'll have it again next year, and hopefully we're here, and maybe be a whole different story.
Well, you and Nick have been roping together for a few years. How do you choose a team roping partner? What do you look for in the ideal team roping partner? Why did you choose Nick?
Well, for me and Nick's he come down and stayed with, and we roped with Shannon Frost, and and he come down while me and Speed was roping a lot, and winning the championships, and he was around, and he seen how Speed handles steers and how I catch them for the most part, and he was around through a lot of that, so he picked up on roping fast and handling steers like I like them, and we get along great, you know, and that's the main thing nowadays at my age. If I don't enjoy it, I'm not going to do it. And you know, we have fun and get along and win money and make a living. That's about all you can ask for.
How did you choose your partner?
Well, it's about like he said. It was fit pretty good together. I just glad to get the opportunity to rope with him, and I learn from him all the time, and we have a good time, and it just works out great. I enjoy it.
Okay, well, you'll have a good time. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you in the past year? You go first, Nick. You can go first. Or you can go first, Rich. One of the two.
Most embarrassing thing in the last year? Last 4 or 5 days, I'd have to go with.
Okay, let's look past these past few days.
I got a pretty good one. We went to a roping the other day over at, where was that? The 10-header at?
Brenham, Texas.
In Brenham, Texas. It was raining real hard, and I couldn't really hear the announcer, and I was kind of just trying to watch. I was in the Pro-Am, and I go ride in the box, and the horse I was riding, kind of shaky in the box. You kind of need to get in there and get out. I ride in, and I'm roping with this person, and I don't know him, and I can't really hear. I just know it's my turn from the guy that was in front of me, and I ride in, I get set. And I never really look over there at my healer. Turns out they weren't in the box. I nod and take off after the steer without
my gosh.
So that was pretty embarrassing. Luckily they felt bad. Luckily they felt bad for me and gave me overs, but that was pretty embarrassing.
You should have told him, like, it wasn't my fault. I couldn't hear anything.
That's what I told him.
Okay,
We didn't laugh or anything.
You didn't laugh? Well, what about you? Do you ever get embarrassed?
No, not really. After you've been around as long as I have, it takes a lot to embarrass you.
What about in your career? What's been the most embarrassing moment?
Well, I've been bucked off at Salinas, fell off in every part of the arena at Pendleton. There's been quite a few, but I'd probably have to go with getting bucked off at Salinas.
Rich, okay, you have the same personality. You're so mellow all the time. Do you ever get excited or juked up or anything?
Oh, I do. By the time we're fixing the rope tonight, about 6:45, 7 o'clock, something like that.
Does he really like show any other emotion, or is he just?
Oh yeah, he shows a lot of emotion. You just gotta catch him doing it.
Well, I can't catch you obviously because you won't do it on the show because you're just straight answer, you know. Are you funny, Rich? You're funny. I know you're funny.
No, I'm not very funny. I'm getting funnier the older I get, though.
The older you get? Do you have any embarrassing stories about my dad?
Well, there was one time in Vegas, we come in and the sun was coming up and in the limo, and we didn't, neither one of us have enough money to pay for the limo, but I don't think by the time we got done. But other than that, it's all been pretty good.
Well, I have to ask him about that because he's been teasing me about staying out too late. So, the sun coming up. Goodness, what's been your best Vegas story, Nick?
A friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, one time we were, why does that do that?
I don't know why it's doing that.
A friend of mine, we were driving down the strip one time, and he had a brand new cowboy hat on he was real proud of, and there's this guy walking down the side of the strip, and he sticks his head out, and he's got this goofy looking hat on. He sticks his head out the window, and he's like, "Nice hat." About that time, the wind comes up and blows his brand new hat off, and the guy runs over there, grabs it, and steals it. So I thought that was pretty funny.
That's a good.
That was good. He got his medicine
Karma.
pretty quick on that, yeah.
That's karma, and the guy got a new hat, so you can't make fun of it. What about you, Rich? You have any? What's been your best Vegas moment so far?
Oh, the best Vegas moment's probably in '97 when we won the championship the first time.
Explain that experience for us. You've worked for it your whole career, and there's people in the audience who will never get to experience that or who haven't experienced it yet. So what was it like? What was your initial reaction?
Well, it's one of those deals. There for 4 or 5 years. When I was, like I said, when I was her age, all I wanted to do was rope, make the finals. Finally did that. Then I actually got close to winning the championship 2 or 3 times, and I didn't get it pulled off. And and then when I got real close, and that was the next goal. That's what I wanted to do. And we worked hard at it and went for 4 or 5 years there and finally pulled it off. So it's a great feeling. It's one of those deals that you finally accomplished. So what's your goals? And then luckily you won 8 in a row.
And it paid off, and now you're the legend. Pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to change it up a little bit. This is kind of going at a steady pace and kind of boring. So what advice would you give a guy that's trying to date your daughter?
Trying to date my daughter? That's good luck, because between her mom and her, I'm the easy one they're going to have to deal with.
The easy one, okay. What about you, Nick, real quick? What do you look for in a girl?
Somebody that's nice, not mean, cute.
So no Rainey.
What?
So no Rainey or Rhonda.
No, if they're going to date her, they need to pull their hat down. They're going to have their hands full.
There's nothing wrong with that. Do you have anything you want to say to that, Rainey?
What do you look for in a boy?
Say nothing. None.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys did great, and I appreciate y'all coming on. Good luck tonight. You're going to win. It's your round. I believe in you. And no more negativity, no more thinking like that, because you're a champion inside and out of the arena, and I'm going to be cheering for y'all.
Thank you. You do a good job up here, and glad for the Bloomer family.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you very much. Enjoyed it.
Of course. And that wasn't too bad, was it?
Nope, I made it through it.
He goes, I'm not staying up there for a full hour. And I was like, okay, you don't have to. Okay.
All right.
Oh, but don't go anywhere, guys. Right now, we're going to bring up Wes Silcox, and he's going to talk about Cowboy Outfitters. How's it going, Wes?
It's great. I love Las Vegas.
What have you been doing?
Lots of random stuff. It's been busy.
You been gambling some?
Been playing some cards.
You winning?
A little blackjack. I'd like to set him up right now, but I'm not real sure.
You're not real sure?
No.
Goodness.
It's hard to keep track.
Well, as long as you win more than you lose, right?
I think I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Cowboy Outfitters and your involvement with them. Can you explain to people what that is, the program?
Cowboy Outfitters is it's just a group of cowboys, and David Todd, I don't know if he's out there, but he's helped us out a lot. And it's just another thing for cowboys to do when they get done riding bulls. And then we started rodeo camps. We had one, you were there, in San Antonio. It's for young kids, high school kids. It doesn't cost them a thing. And we pay their way. We go over everything it takes to be a professional rodeo cowboy.
And they're getting to have this experience with y'all, which is pretty exciting, with professionals that are in the industry and guys that they look up to.
I mean, there was 15 of the best cowboys in the world at the camp in San Antonio, and myself and Casey Fields. We're going to have one in Utah, and then there will be one in Fargo, North Dakota. So I think it's bringing the high school kids and trying to make them professionals.
In Utah, when is that going to be?
We haven't set the location yet, but it's going to be the third week in May, either Heber City, Spanish Fork, somewhere close to home.
Well, Wes, you've been busy. You hunt, and you just had a baby.
Yeah, I had a little baby boy 3 months ago, and got a 2.5-year-old girl, and I have been busy.
Legend. His little boy's name is Legend. How perfect is that?
Yeah, Rivers and Legend. And then I've been hunting and went to New Zealand with Spey Creek. They got a booth over there, and been guiding a little bit. So it's been a good year.
Tell us about yourself, so for the people that don't know you.
I just like to hang out. I don't answer my phone when I'm at home. I'm a stay-at-home dad. My wife works, and yeah, I just like to have fun. I team rope a little bit, and ride bulls.
You know, we just had team ropers up here, and I asked him, what advice would you give a guy that's trying to date your daughter? So what advice would you give a guy that's trying to date Rivers?
Probably just don't date her at all.
Don't date her at all?
Yeah.
Are you going to be a mean dad?
I'm not really mean anyway, so I don't know. It's different when they're your own kids. It changes you a little bit.
They grow up fast, though.
They grow up fast.
I'm going to give you advice real quick for dads, from a girl's perspective. For your little girl, I'm going to help her out for the future. My dad, first time I had a date, he told the guy, I'm not afraid to go back to prison. And then he looked through the window of our door, just stared out at the door. And the guy's like, your dad's still sitting there watching us. I was like, I know. And he goes, he's not going to open our door. He opens my door, my dad, you can see my dad like throwing a fit inside, all mad about it.
Yeah.
So just don't be that dad. Don't be that dad. Be the cool dad.
I won't be. I will. It'll be cool.
It'll be cool?
Yeah.
Well, what else do you have going on? What's new?
Not too much. Just gonna get in shape and make a run for the NFR. I missed it the last 2 years, and it definitely sucks being out here and not riding. But it's I've been busy, but now I've got my mind on it, and it's time to get back.
Well, Wes, you're a professional bull rider. What guy do you see out here right now competing that's the most consistent, you think? That's going to be a force to be reckoned with for the next few years.
Oh, there's not just one. There's several.
Well, name three. Let's name three of them real quick.
Of course, Sage Kimsey and Joe Frost. He's been consistent all year, and Trey, and I don't know. There's a good 5 of them that's going to be around for a long time, and win lots of money.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I don't even know. You're going to be competing against them, so I'm guessing you're not saying it's good for you, but you're good too, so we're good.
I'm not worried about those guys.
Well, what would you like to see change in the industry? There's a lot of changes taking place, but for the bull riding perspective, what would you like to see change in the PRCA?
It's already happening. I mean, the money's obviously getting better, and better bulls. The breeding programs now are crazy, and it's just got to be the caliber of bulls you get on. You want to get on a good bull you want to have a chance to win every time you get on, and so if that could happen at a rodeo, I know the bull ridings, the PBRs, the CBRs, you probably know you're going to get on a good bull. But if you could show up to a rodeo and know you're going to have a chance to win, that'd be great.
What advice would you give someone that's trying to get a sponsor? Because your shirt's covered with sponsors. So what advice would you give someone that's a younger cowboy trying to come in the industry and get sponsors?
Oh, the young cowboys, like we taught them at the rodeo camp. We teach them. We have a sponsor come in. We had Mattress Firm come in, and talk a little bit about what it takes to become to be sponsored. So basically, is get out there every chance you get, be seen, talk to the cameras, do interviews, and don't be shy. And you got to be aggressive.
See, Wes, guys, he came on. I asked him, like, last minute, like last week, I said, do you want to come on real quick and talk about Cowboy Outfitters? He didn't even question it. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll come on. Even if it's for a minute, just to do that, I think that says a lot about him, too, as a cowboy. So
it's definitely hard being out here in Vegas and not riding, but I'm still here, and I'm still going to be here next year, so.
Well, I can't wait to watch you compete next year.
I know. I can't wait either. It's been a long time. 2 years seems like forever. Not getting in those yellow bucking chutes, but I'm ready.
Well, you're going to be back here next year. Let's give him a round of applause for everything he's doing with Cowboy Outfitters and everything he's doing for the industry. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I
of
appreciate
course.
it.
I'm on the fantasy team, but I didn't get invited onto the show till 5 minutes ago.
That was good, Joe. So good. Hey, you're a man in demand. I never know when I'm going to catch you. You're everywhere, including South Point a lot.
Had you give me prior notice, we'd have had the audience full today.
Oh, that was because they wouldn't come for me, but they'd come for you.
Well, I got 2 here, but
you got your parents
they're
right
on
there.
Quick notice because they're here with me.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just not as cool as you. Like, look at this jacket. Stand up real quick. Look what he's rocking. Not anyone could just pull this off. Dale, what do you think about his outfit?
Yeah, man. I mean, wear it with confidence. Fringe is in, I hear.
Would you wear fringe?
Yeah, I mean.
Look at his hair.
Look at his hair.
It's kind of fringy.
I used to have a jacket just like that. Then my mom got a job.
Well, Joe, you're having a pretty good week. So how's the experience been so far?
It's been great. You know, this has been something that I've worked for 22 years, and to finally be here is, it's been everything and more than what I thought it was going to be.
You know what's funny, Joe, is when you walked back there, I said, you want to be on Dale? And he goes, yeah, I want to be on Dale. And it's funny, Dale, because he's the one that's kicking butt out here, and you're just out here having fun and throwing parties I'm not invited to. And so Joe's excited to meet you.
And that's because Dale's the best. And he don't have to prove it because he knows it. The other 15 of us, we're here trying to be what Dale already is.
He gets me. He gets me. I mean, here's the thing, you know, you as far as bull riding's concerned, and this is just general in life, you know, you always want to give 100%, you know, unless you're donating blood. But it starts with the mindset, and I know I'm the best, you know, so, you know, Mama Brisby told me when I was real young, you know, I was born when my toes turned out. And she said, boy, you got a good brain, you know. And so I just kept going through life just knowing I was the best. And that's where it started. You know, had it been different, I might have ended up with a neck tattoo and a joint MySpace account with a girl named Tank, you know. But here I am, you know, world champion, you know, best in the world. So, and Joe knows it. Like I said, you know, I could only make it out here 5 perfs. And Joe, how would you feel if somebody showed up half a rodeo and won all the money? Golly,
I'd break his leg backstage.
Right. What happened was they labeled it Spurbrisbia, and bulls find out who they have drawn or who drew them, and they're just all of a sudden PRCA calls, we've crippled your bull, you win 110%, and you know, so you can even have, you know, I mean, it just causes problems for everybody. So for some people, 110% works out. For me, not so much.
Okay, that's understandable.
So,
well, Joe, you have been so consistent out here. You've been kicking butt. The first round, I mean, trust me, I look at my fantasy team all the time. I'm like a stalker to it. So how are you keeping your mindset out here? How are you so calm during all this? Because it's your first time to qualify, too.
You know, like I said, it's something that we've worked for 22 years, and I was really nervous Thursday night before the first round, and I think what I was most nervous for is I didn't know what it was going to be like to be behind the chutes and actually riding there, and when the nerves left was when I got there, and when I crawled up there on the chute. You don't realize how small this arena really is till you are here. I mean, it's a round pen, and when you can look up in section 108 on the other end of the arena and see your mom and pick them out from as far away as that, I mean, I felt at home, and having Louis Field right there to my right, and my Aunt Elsie, my Uncle Clyde right up there, this is the neatest place in the world to be able to ride bulls at. And you realize that you're the second Frost to ride here. The third. The third, okay. The second in Vegas, the third in the history of the national finals. And that's pretty cool. It's a big name to live up to. It's the only name I've ever had to live up to, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Any pressure? The only pressure is the pressure that I put on myself, and you know, like I said, I've always been a Frost, and my dad's always put pressure on us since we were little, and I guess I'm used to it in a way. You know what's kind of cool is yesterday, you know all the pictures on the back of that sign over there has all y'all's pictures, contestant pictures on it to show everybody who's competing out here in each event. Well, we were sitting over there, me and my mom were looking at them last night, and I saw your picture, and this man came up, and he was a custodian here, and the lights were all turned out and everything, and he goes, that Joe Frost, I walk by him every day. Is he related to Lane Frost? And he just thought it was so cool. He was like, that is so neat that we have him competing here. It's pretty exciting. And you know, in the movie 8 Seconds has cemented Lane Frost and Red Rock and the Champions of Challenge in the history of rodeo for forever. People that don't even watch rodeo or know rodeo, if you walk up to them and say bull riding or Lane Frost or vice versa, they will give you you say Lane Frost, they know what that has to do with bull riding. And the person that without the movie, he would still be as famous as he is because of the person as he was in rodeo, but it wouldn't have reached as many people as it has. And to be compared to someone like that is, who else would you want to be compared to besides Dale?
Besides Dale, but I'm pretty sure that Lane's probably smiling down on you because you're representing the name great too, and you're giving a good name for the name and bull riding even more than it already was. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that Joe Frost, doesn't he get to be on stage with Dale Brisby today? That's what I heard. Yeah, absolutely. Why do you think he's here?
That's why I came.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks, guys.
You're welcome. No. Hey, I mean, you are absolutely beautiful, and that's why I'm here. And I'm talking about on the outside where it counts. None of that on the inside crap, okay? So, I know you originally brought me on because you needed my phone number and all that, but
you caught me.
Absolutely. So
how could a girl not be attracted to you, Dale?
I don't know that that's ever happened. So I wouldn't even know how to begin to answer that question. So.
Well, okay, Joe, if you were to put Dale with a girl that's a celebrity, which girl would you put him with?
We've heard it all. Wonder Woman.
Catwoman.
I don't know a lot of celebrity. I guess besides you, I don't know that I know any celebrity women. I'm just in the real world, so the only women I end up with are the real world women.
Well, hey, you got a girlfriend.
Kinda.
Kinda?
Yeah, she's gonna be here tonight.
Well, okay, that's why you're saying kinda. Well, what do you look for in a girl?
More for me and you. More for me and you.
What do I look for in a girl?
Yeah, what does Joe Frost want in the perfect ideal girl?
Well, like Dell said, it's the outside beauty.
Yeah.
That's where it starts. And then it's just got to be somebody that's not, no stress, no worry. Basically, she's got to be just like the woman sitting in the front row right here.
Like your mama?
Aww.
You rough stock riders are good. Yesterday, Sage Kimsey said the same thing.
No, my mom's perfect, and if I can marry someone like that, I'll probably be a pretty happy guy my whole life.
That's cute. He deserves a round of applause for that. That's sweet.
Adorable. That is adorable.
Well, Dale, who would you put Joe with?
Well, the way he's talking about his mom, it wouldn't be my mom, all right? Mama Brisby, she was a hammer. I mean, good heavens. I remember the first time that I threw food away, she popped a knot on my head that Obamacare couldn't take care of. She said, son, we work for our food around here. Go walk around the block and think about what you just did. I'm not talking about a block in the city either. That's a country block. Joe Frost, I mean, I don't know. Like, women, for me, like, that's kind of, it's a little fuzzy where on to the next one started. Was it rodeos or was it women? Just on to the next one.
With this shirt, maybe Sacagawea?
Yeah, I mean, Aztec prints in. I mean, you got all the current fashion going on. I mean, so you guys learn from this. But, yeah, you could get any woman. Absolutely. Have confidence.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Well, what dating advice would you give someone? If someone came to you and said, Dale, I like this girl or I like this guy, what would you tell them to do?
I don't know. Like, usually they come to me. Like I said, like, I'm usually on the receiving end.
Okay, well, what if it's like someone that's not like you? Someone's like a peasant. My gosh, because you're the king.
Yeah.
A commoner comes to you and says, Dale, I need your advice.
Then I would just tell them lie. Tell them you are Dale Brisby. That'll usually work. So. What about you?
Huh?
What about you? Well, you got a significant other?
No, I'm awkward.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not Dale Brisby for sure.
Okay.
I have no game. 0.
Yeah.
But thanks for that.
Well, neither does Dale. He don't need it.
I'll tell you.
They come to him.
If they made an Xbox game for Dale Brisby, but nobody got it. Nobody bought it. And didn't move off the shelf at all because I'm the only one with this much game. So I could lend you some or something. We could
Yeah,
figure something
I would
out.
like
could
that.
help
Thank
you.
you.
Out.
Well, what advice would you give someone, Joe, that's trying to find a girl or a guy out there?
Basically, whatever I do is the opposite of what my little brother and my traveling partner, Dallin Duncan, tell me. Just be yourself, and if they like you for who you are, good, and if they don't worry about them. There's a lot more out there.
It's a good answer. So don't lie is what you're saying.
No.
No. Sorry, Dale. Didn't work out.
Yeah, to each his own.
Okay, there's a lot of good bull riders out here, Dale. Which one do you think is the most consistent so far?
Well, you know, Joe shared a fun fact with me backstage about the 2, 2, and 2. I'll let him kind of.
There's been 6 go-rounds so far, and there's been 3 guys that have won them all, and that's Sage Kimsey, Aaron Pass, and myself, and we are all here for the first time, and we're all new Wrangler shirt and jean endorsees.
Well, dang.
Dang.
Nice little sponsor throw out.
Absolutely.
And also, I felt bad for the other guys. Do you think they get nervous when they see you get in the chute? They're like, oh, man, here he goes again.
Who?
You, when they see you get in the chute.
Who gets nervous?
The other competitors, the other 14 guys.
They did last night. J.W. Harris gave me the nickname, the Intimidator.
The Intimidator.
That
Right
was
here,
what they was
smile real
calling me
quick.
in the
Smile,
locker.
smile. See, look, how can you be intimidated by that?
I don't do that in the locker room.
Well, I know that, but on the screen, you look like, oh my goodness, like a ray of sunshine's coming from the screen.
Man,
You look so happy.
I'm telling you, you got me shaking in my Louisiana house slippers, okay? So intimidated.
Well, what advice would you give him, Dale, going into the next 4 rounds?
Well, I already gave it. You know, I mean, just you got to know that you're the best, and 100%, unless you're donating blood. And you know, don't try to change it up. Just stick to the basics, and one bull at a time, one day at a time. You know, you can only ride one bull at a time, unless you're me. And you know, somebody told me once you can't ride them all, and I said, why not? You know, so.
That's exactly what he says.
Absolutely. There you go. Where do you think he heard it?
Dale Brisby. Dale, okay, I ask you every time, do you ever get nervous? Do you ever, like, you're intimidated? Okay, you're kind of intimidating, too. I feel like if you were in the chute, I'd be like, great, here we go again, because you're probably sitting there telling yourself you're the best as you're about to go. Are you that type of guy? Are you nice to the other competitors?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you don't want to scare off all the added money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm usually pretty casual. I mean, y'all know me. I'm humble. I like to keep it humble. So that's how I'm going to be backstage, you know, usually. I mean, behind the chutes, what have you. And last thing I want to do is stir the bull up. So, no, I'm usually just pretty smooth, like with the ladies.
You're smooth. I don't. Do y'all guys see humble at all?
Smooth
I don't know
like
if I've
butter.
seen one guy shaking his head. Humble.
Smooth like butter.
I feel like Joe's humble. Yeah, and you're more like, no, I'm the best.
It's just it's
Well-
not cocky if it's the truth.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell it like it is. I'm so honest, you can shoot dice with me over the phone, okay? So I'm a straight shooter, okay?
Well, okay, you're so honest. What was your first impression of Joe? Honest.
Oh, man. I mean, that's flashy right there. So, I mean, the jacket, that was the first thing I noticed. And I think that's what he was going for, so.
What was your first impression of Dale?
I've seen Dale, you know, I've been watching him on TV for a long time. And my impression has always been, I hope that someday I can ride half as many bulls as that guy and ride them at least half as good. If I can do that, I'll be the world's champion, because Dale can only come to half of the NFR, so we ain't got to worry about him.
Yeah.
Okay, Dale, you've
Thank
sat
you,
up
Joe.
here with Tough Cooper, now Joe Frost, and you're sitting with some of the best guys in the world, and each time they're complimenting you, and you're not even here. Do you get what I'm saying here? Do you get in the little correlation?
Yeah, I am getting what you're saying. You're telling Noah about the flood, okay? So, same song, different day.
Well, Dale, who's the person you listen to? Whose advice do you take?
Well, you know, I just kind of replay some of my old tapes, you know, whenever I'm just, I don't know. I'm usually the giver rather than the receiver of advice and whatnot, so.
I don't even ever know what to say to you. You're the only person that leaves me speechless.
Well, you're welcome.
Well, Joe, do you have any questions for Dale?
You know, Dale, you say keep it basic, stay with the basics tonight. Walk me through that. What are the basics of bull riding?
Well, for me, like I said, I was born with my toes out. You got to dress for action like a man. I don't know really what that means, but it's in the Bible. So, and then I ride bulls with my left hand so that I can keep my right hand ready to punch a fool. Riding bulls and punching fools, And what I've got to be careful of, like I said, I've not ever been jerked down, but several times I've jerked the bull up, like poof, so that's what I got to be careful of. That's that 110 stuff I was talking about. I usually just keep it at a hundo, okay? Keep it at a Benjamin. So I don't know if those are problems you're going to run into, but if you do.
What about, there's one story I heard about you that, and it's honestly inspired me, and it's a technique that we developed because of this story. It was the time when you was in Pueblo, and you showed up late, and they pulled the first section on you.
Yeah,
hold on. And
whoa,
the part that
Finally.
the part that I'm getting to, and you're gonna love it. But it was when
old son.
It was the day that you invented spurring into the well.
Woo. Man,
I'm
glad you brought that up. Kind of distract me. I mean, listen, I'm going to deal with you backstage. All right, old son? But for the crowd's sake, I mean, yeah, they pop a first section on me, and usually they want to end the show with Dale, go out with a bang. But hey, let's, first impressions, let's keep them here. Dale, you're first. Okay, whatever. So I show up, and bull's kind of into my hand, whatever, and yeah, I mean, it only made sense. I was just it just slowed down for me, and I'm like, what can I do different here, And so I just kind of leaned back on that outside and brought it into the well. I mean, so that's where I keep all my money anyway. So, yeah, spurring into the well. Brought out something they'd never seen before. Trey Benton tried it in the first or second round, and it's a gutsy move. I'm going to tell you. I applaud him for his courage.
I don't know how you were able to do it into your hand. I've never had any luck with it. But if you watch the video from the 5th round, I was spurring into the well, away from my hand. That's the only way it works for me.
Well, way to toot your own horn, but toot. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, keep at it, Grasshopper. Keep at it.
Oh my gosh. Well, Dale, do you watch other events?
What about the other events?
Do you watch them?
Some of them, yeah. I'm kind of a mentor, personal trainer, hero for some of those guys. So I like to watch, the bareback riding. It's been fun. It's been interesting. Richie Champion had a recent go-round win, and finally gave him some points. The Crawleys, Casey Field, those guys are doing good. The tie down is fun. I've got some buds there. Like you said, tough.
Let's go through every event.
Hold on. I don't watch the steer wrestling. My last serious relationship, Vicky, she left me for a fat steer wrestler on the Blanco River. Had a pass like kids, so I usually go get a hot dog during that. Which you knew that you knew I was available. That's why you called me.
Well, let's walk through the events, and let's hear Dale and Joe's predictions about who they think are going to win. Because he's the Linderman Award winner, so he knows these other events.
What?
Not to toot his own horn.
Tonight,
toot, toot.
I think, Casey Field that's always my pick in the bareback riding. The guy's a machine. He turned bareback riding from an art into a science. He's dangerous on the back of a bareback horse. And I don't know what he's got drawed tonight, but I think it's time for Casey to strike again. He win the first round? I think he's going to get another one tonight. And
ooh, that'd be good for my fantasy team.
In the steer wrestling, it's hard to bet against Luke Branquino. He's been bulldogging real good all week, and he done a lot of tuning up before he got here. And
also my
the
fantasy.
team roping, I'm shooting for. This is going to be bad because I'm really not a team roping fan. But Eric Rogers has pulled my rope every night so far, so I'm cheering for him and whoever his partner is.
Whoever
is
his
it?
partner
Do you know
is.
who it is?
Eric Rogers and yes, I do. Not now. I know.
Okay, well,
Put me on the
we're
spot.
cheering for Eric Rogers.
Okay.
And in the saddle bronc riding, I'd like to see Cody Wright get it tonight. And let's see, what do we go to next? The calf roping. Shane Hanshey's got the bottom pull. It takes 2 guys to pull my rope. So I've been cheering for Marty Yates, but tonight I'm cheering for Shane Hanshey. And the barrel racing, since Michelle McLeod was on Flint's show with me the other day, and we won the round that night, both of us did. Starting the last 2 nights, I've been cheering for her, and I'm probably going to cheer for her again tonight.
She's great.
And the bull riding, if I'm not cheering for myself, I'm not getting on.
Good answer. Good answer. What about you, Dale?
I don't know, but I don't know. I just feel like those are some random reasons for people to win. Like,
Well, what's
I don't
your
know,
picks?
like,
Come on.
what's his name? Ate a purple popsicle, so he's gonna win. And this guy likes bull riding, so he's probably gonna rope good. And you know, he gave me a high five and pulls my rope. So yeah, so he's gonna win the tie down. So I don't know. It depends on what the criteria are.
Okay,
like,
well,
are
you
we
give
going
me
like?
you just tell me in Dale's opinion.
Okay, well,
who
I'm going
you
to go
want
with
to win.
Dale Wearers, you know, if he can go with these crazy. And that would be, you know, Casey Field and Richie Champion, Skip the Steer Wrestling, Team Roping Trevor Brazil, Bronc Riding, it would be like all of the Wright brothers, Jacobs Crawley. We're going to, I mean, that's going to be a lot of people splitting round wins. Bradley Harder, and then tie down, you got the top, you know, Shane, Tough, and Trevor. And then barrel racing, I feel like that's the one event you can go. We're going to go with the hottest, and that's either Cassidy, the Indian girl. Fallon's a big fan of mine. And then the bull riding, you know, Joe's going to, he's got some momentum. Oh, wait, did he use a real thing here? Yeah, Joe's got momentum, and he's riding great. So he's going to be a safe bet. So.
You literally just picked people that liked you.
Well, you didn't call him out. So.
I feel like those are both.
And then, hey, what about, this is one thing I've noticed all week. What about the bullfighters?
That's what I'm saying. Well, y'all stand up.
Nobody
stand up.
ever gives
Cody
them
Webster,
enough credit.
I was just about to introduce them. You
Like,
read my mind.
They work just as
Stand up,
hard
Dusty.
as the contestants. They, you know, they got to fight to get here. And, you know, then they get here, they work their butts off, underpaid, and they get their names announced, and then,
And
oh,
they're
yeah, they
protecting
live
them.
together. And then, okay, who's our first bull rider? You know, it's like,
Yeah, but they're protecting them the whole time. So without them, our bull fighters
And
or
not
bull
just
riders would
him.
be safe.
And they
All of them.
fight 15 bulls a night.
Yeah.
We get on 1. That's 150 plus re-rides.
Exactly.
absolutely, like, good
So
heavens.
y'all stand up real quick. Stand up, Dusty.
Aw,
I know you don't want
stand
to,
up.
but stand up.
We've
Let's
got
give them a round
all
of applause.
3
They're keeping
here.
us safe, and we appreciate it.
All 3
Thank
here.
you, guys.
And yes, they do live under the same roof. They work very hard. Insanity P90X. Sean T actually has their poster on his wall. They've all got chiseled abs and girlfriends. Womp womp. So, but
So Dale, do you give them workout plans? Help them out?
yeah, absolutely. You know, I help them out whenever I can. I'm not usually one to need a bullfighter. You know,
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, I pull my own rope, spur my own bull, fight my, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, we have a good time. I let them carry my rigging bag sometimes, so I allow them that.
So that's what they're good at, is protecting and then carrying your stuff.
They're good at all kinds of stuff, you know, fighting bulls, like I said, picking up chicks. A couple of them aren't very good at growing hair. They're both, we got some baldies in there. I'm not going to name any names, Chuck and Tuck, but yeah, hey, another round of applause for the bullfighters.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
Dale, you're like
Thank
reading
y'all
my
for coming
mind.
out.
Thank you all for coming. You're reading my mind. I feel
We're
like
like
you've been
E.T.
on this.
and Elliot right here.
I know, I feel like,
you know?
wait, which one am I? Okay.
I'm
No
Elliot.
problem.
I'm the main character. Okay, always. I'm not saying you look like
But
the
who do
little
they
alien.
watch?
So
They watch the little alien guy.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyways, Joe, is there anything you want everybody to know about you before you're done? Give us a random fact about you.
A random fact.
Yeah.
I'm usually a pretty open book. I don't know if I have any random facts.
Or give us your most embarrassing story.
Okay, I'll tell one.
Okay.
I only have seven pairs of lucky underwear left, and Fruit of the Loom quit making them. So I have 7 pairs of underwear that are pretty much wore out that I've got to keep washing and using for the rest of my career.
The rest of your career?
Yes.
Good luck with that. Hey,
unless Fruit of the Loom's watching and they want me to be an endorsee and we can bring him back out.
Bring him back out for Joe Frost. Who would like to see a Joe Frost underwear line? That would be kind of cool. The first one. Dale has something to say.
2 people. I don't know. I mean, I don't believe in luck. I don't have lucky anything, and I really don't believe in washing clothes either. So, yeah, I've just got the 1 pair of everything. This is me right here. You're welcome. So.
Dale, do you try to be funny, or is this just natural?
Well, I mean, everything I do comes natural, you know. There's only a few things I don't do, and that's, you know, quit on a garment because I got a little age to it, and show mercy to big bulls, you know, spurring big bramer necks for big money checks. So, and I'm not going to apologize for that. Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Did you go to school, Dale?
School of Hard Knocks, School of Life. You know, I wrote the book, okay? I brought it with me. I didn't come here to learn it, Alexis.
All right.
Yeah, write it down. I'm surprised none of these folks have a notepad out, okay? Let's take some notes out there. You got Dale Brisby on stage.
Joe, you go to college, and
Yeah,
you're doing
I
something
do.
pretty cool out here for your rodeo coach. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, you know, I was extremely fortunate to go to a college where the head coach and the assistant coach have been people that not only myself, but so many people have looked up to, you know, for so many years, and that's Craig Latham as the head coach and Robert Etbauer as the assistant coach. And Craig Latham's been battling with cancer it's been about 4.5 years, I think. And, you know, it's affected his family and him and the town of Goodwell. And so I've been wearing these patches that they say riding for Craig on them. And it's not, you know, and the riding for Craig part isn't even so much about the cancer, but Craig Latham is a stand-up guy. He's a lead by example type of guy. Good character. He's a great guy, and I've been extremely lucky to be around him for the time that I have at school down there. And he called me. I've talked to him every night. He's been in Georgia out there doing, you know, getting treatments and stuff. And so I've talked to him every night before I went to the Thomas and Mack Center on the phone, and he called me, I guess it was 2 days ago after I got off a Flint show, and told me he was here to support me. And I thought he said, "I'm here supporting you." And I thought he was saying, "I'm supporting you from Georgia." And I said, I said, "You're here where?" And he said, "I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada." And I mean, it was a pretty good feeling, you know, when he said that. And it was ironic that he came the one night we had an extra ticket, and so he sat with my mom and dad up there, and that couldn't have been better. And I gave him the go-round buckle from that night, and just for everything he's done for me in the last 3.5 years, and for the school and everything like that.
That's a cool story. That's amazing. I'm sure he appreciates you too. Well, guys, give it up for Joe Frost and Dale Brisby. Always a pleasure to have Dale, of course, but even more of a pleasure to have Joe today. Thanks for coming on with us, and I like what you're doing for the sport.
Thank you. Thanks for
Glad
having
y'all
us.
got to see me.
Let's give him another round of applause, guys.